This episode is going to be dope because we are meeting up with one of the most inspiring CEOs that I've ever built a relationship with. His name is Raymond, and he's the CEO of a company called Human Condition Labs.
You know, we've been through these interesting technology revolutions, from cooking to the Bronze Age to, you know, we're in a really interesting age where we're having like ages every 3 years at this point, right? Like everything's, the speed is here, right? Yeah. And we're at a really interesting moment of our ability to live within that change in speed is much faster than our ability to evolve. So we took 100 years. How many generations is 100 years? Yeah. Well, we've just compressed 100 years. We haven't gone through any more DNA cycles. Things that we'll look for is how straight is your back. You're going to turn around, you're going to put it down on the ground, you can bend properly, use your knees. Then all of a sudden you've got a computational library of how people move. What's the power of that? Automotive designers, right? How do you build a better chair? Ergonomics, nursing homes. So there's all these great applications for that.
He grew up one of these kids that just loved to create. He loved art, he loved photography, he loved to break things.
Wanted to do stuff, broke everything, took everything apart, never put it back together, right? That's labor. I just wanted to see how it worked. Yeah. And then you kind of think, like, how do I do this to actually like eat, right? You know, because it's when we're taught is that kind of young, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Reality is, that's not the question, right? What do you want to solve? What do you want to solve when you grow up, right?
He really narrowed down a formula that worked for him. It's his process. It's one of the keys to his success with Human Condition Labs. And we're going to talk about this, right? How does your process for a company matter so much? He talks about how it should work like an operation system in your company.
I wanted to build kind of something that was bigger than me. I was going to hire by all these people and companies to do, you know, nonprofit work, high-end consulting, technology.
For years was profiled by Apple for being the first person to develop the world's first biometric for heart failure simulation.
Yeah. Like, it's not me, I've got a good process.
Yes.
Right? And so that's what I wanted to do, is basically form a company that could be an operating system for social impact, right? Yeah. And so we can invent and create, that's fine. Can we teach others how to do it? And go and collaborate, right? Because you can compete or collaborate. Yeah. Right? And a lot of times people are like, who's your competition? It's like, well, anyone who won't collaborate with us. Yeah. It's pretty simple. Yeah. Right? And then the power of that coming together. Yeah. So built a great team, lots of people. We hit everything from media to technology to R&D, prototyping, regulatory, healthcare, HIPAA compliance, like all this stuff that makes this stuff work. And everything's just really hard. It's not hard, it's just work. Yeah. Do you want a shovel? Yeah. Because that's how you get a hole. Yeah. You can't talk about it or laugh at it, right? Yeah, for sure. Got a shovel. It's going to get dirty, you're going to get splinters, and that's part of the thing.
You know, he talks about how much technology has changed generation after generation over the past like 100+ years, and how it's like shifting culture today, right? And now how is he actually solving some of the world's biggest issues?
So we haven't really learned how to evolve, even how to adapt to what we're in. So we consume a lot, we waste a lot, kind of push it over there, like it'll be figured out, or it doesn't exist, right? It's gonna slap us squarely in the face, and we're seeing it. Population growth, right? What happens when you help infant mortality rates? So the babies are being born healthy, the population is aging, and we're growing to 9 billion people. Yeah. What's that, right? What's that look like from food supply, food security, water, the basic issues, transportation, logistics. So I find that stuff basically, it not only keeps me up, I find it actually really fascinating, because I think it's so big for so many people, but it's actually something you can start looking at areas.
They are solving some of the world's most complex global problems, you know, and these are disruptive solutions using some of the most innovative technology around the world.
But I think education is the absolute biggest impact of VR. Entertainment's going to be great, media entertainment, right? That's kind of a given. Gaming. Yeah. There's new ways of shooting movies, music video. It's really immersive. You know, you can be on stage with Chris Rock. Yeah. Looking back out at the audience, right? Yeah. That's easy to do. Yeah, for sure, right? But the training side is, how do you take kids? Kids are the future, literally the manifestation, right? They'll be the future. How do we give them all the best tools so they go into like, come on, Dad, I know how to do this, right?
It's interesting because I always said that like some of the best ideas come from solving problems that maybe you're facing. But what he talks about is how this worked for him at Human Condition Labs. First of all, first thing is that it all stems from curiosity. He empowers his team. He talks about empowerment with his team and how curiosity is really the genesis for a lot of his ideas.
So, like anything else, we're curious, and we got invited to a room about a big construction project and how could put an iPhone in a guy's pocket to figure out where he is on the site.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, okay, well, you can do that, but there's a lot of inherent issues with that side. So we started looking at the landscape. We got curious. We hooked up with Georgia Tech, and we talked to their team. They were working in construction safety, so he had that academic. They had done a lot of studies, and said, this is getting interesting.
He really encourages curiosity. I think that's important for us all as entrepreneurs. And then when you look to solve a problem, it's really important to understand the questions that you're asking and understand that when you're solving that problem, not to focus on so much the problem or what he says the symptoms of the problem, but really the root cause of that problem, because that's where you'll find the solution.
And is pollution the problem? Or is it why they have to pollute in the first place? I'm interested in that because that's a symptom. You got to solve the actual root cause. So how can we dig down? And
what the causes are.
Yeah, look at it. You know, I mean, we live in a high level of consumerism. We like stuff. The reality is we like, does it work? You know, I don't want an iPhone every year. I want an iPhone that lasts 10 years. I really do. I'm tired of upgrading it. I'm tired of loading all my stuff again. You know, we got to get past that side. And I think looking at the consumer side, understanding our own supply chains as people, the clothing you're wearing, the food you eat, the technology you wear, all that, what does that matter? Also, when we get up and make choices every day, what do we do?
Another thing is, don't take it for granted that we are in 2016. Think about all the resources you guys have to make a social impact, to build an unbelievable business. It's right in front of us. So much has happened in hundreds of years through the human race, and think about where we're at. Right? We have virtual reality now. We have augmented reality. We have all these amazing technology that we can use to build and solve problems.
What would you say to them, you know, to your young self right now with the future landscape of being a creator?
I think it's really simple, kind of profound because it is that simple. Just be braver. It took me a long time to build that courage to do that thing. Like, you know, there's things that's the right thing to do, but you gotta get that check. So I think it's really like looking back, be brave enough to cast away that stuff that it's not going to evolve. Focus your efforts on those places. Even if it's focused on 20 different things, make sure they're the right 20. Right? But it was that thing, and for years of saying like, well, that's the person I have to get to because they're the specialist or whatever. Then I would meet them and be highly disappointed. Right? And so it's managing expectations and being really brave to kind of punch through that.
Hey, I mean, and a couple things we learned, right? So innovation stems from curiosity. Remember, stay curious, okay? Be brave to take big risks, because the ones that are crazy enough to think they're gonna change the world are the ones that do, okay? And remember, think about things by asking yourself the right questions. What is the root cause of a problem that you're looking to solve, right? So ask yourself the right questions. Remember, not what do you wanna be when you grow up, but what problem do you wanna solve? Okay, so another thing that we learned, collaboration, teamwork, right? It all comes down to collaboration. Your competition should only be if someone doesn't want to collaborate with you. Okay, collaboration is key to your success. So think of partnerships. Think of ways that you can team up with people and collaborate, because that's how you will get there faster, smarter. Another thing that we learned was being brave. Go for it, okay? Manage your expectations correctly and actually go for it. Remember, it's not hard, it's just work, okay? He talks about that. So you just gotta put in that work, be brave, and go after it.
You see the skeleton, and you see he's dropping his right hip and his right shoulder? I asked him a little bit after we did this, I said, hey, do you have an injury on your right side at all, your hip or anything? He's like, yeah, in a high school football incident. You can see it like that. So what could we do is maybe help him get in a job that isn't going to stress that and create a re-injury. So there's a lot of really interesting tools, you know, from not only the safety, but then the efficiency and productivity. And we're taking care of people.
Thank you guys for watching episode 15 of Leaders Create Leaders. Please make sure to share this with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't yet, all right? Subscribe. Comment below. Let us know what you think of the episode. Let us know if there's somebody in particular that you want in the series. Season 2 is right around the corner, but I need to hear from you people. I need to hear from everybody. I need to hear from the Leaders Create Leaders family that you guys want me to continue with this series. So comment, give us feedback. Let's make history. Thank you for watching Leaders Create Leaders. Peter Raymond, you are a rock star leader. We can't wait to see how Human Condition Labs continues to build. We're over and out. Peace.
So this entire room can be remote controlled from our facility downtown and vice versa. So our team down there can look at all the displays, look at all the data. So what we have, we've got things like, we actually have City Field modeled fully in a 3D environment. And we can go anywhere in there. And did you guys go up to field level by chance?
Yep, we did.
Right? Where do you think you stood for field level? If you had to guess.
Here?
Peter, bring him home.